It's been 2 days and I'm still laughing at what happened with Batgirl because it's crazy. They shelved a movie that reports are saying cost somewhere between $70 to $100 million. That's a lot of money. But if you think about it, it's cheaper to just shelve it because think of the marketing for the movie. You would have to put another $100 million on the table to market the movie. It's cheaper to just make it go away. And it's wild to see because usually you would see studios try to do some nonsense to hype this up, and maybe this is a sign that that nonsense isn't working anymore. You know, they would pull what Star Wars did and say, well, if you don't watch this, you're some kind of hateful person. They didn't even want to go that route. They just said, we're just going to cut our losses and we're going to shell it. It's a crazy thing to see. And it makes me wonder what the future of the DCEU is. I saw a video by Andy Signor saying that his sources told him that Amber, she who shall not be named, AH, her role in Aquaman 2 has been moved down to 2 minutes. And I believe it, but I think that's 2 minutes too many. I don't want to see her in the movie at all. I will not watch the movie until she's completely removed from it. But that's where that stands. So they do seem to be paying attention to what's going on with actual people, because that role got cut down even more. It went from 20 minutes to 10 to 2. This movie's getting shelved, and now I wonder what's going to happen with Flashpoint. But yeah, this is a crazy thing, and it will leak eventually. Eventually, this movie, because it was almost finished, I think it was 90% finished. Like I said in my video the other day, if you know what I'm talking about with that awful Fantastic Four movie, the one that came out in like the 70s or the 80s. Actually, it didn't come out, but it was finished. They shelved it, and then someone leaked it. I think someone will eventually leak this movie, and we're going to be able to watch it via certain websites. It'll get an unofficial release, basically. But people aren't happy. Of course, Twitter, not happy about this, calling the move to shelve this movie racist, as usual. Woke scandal blows up after Warner Bros. Shelves $70 million Batgirl. Minority talent are not pawns. They should have just released the movie because it stars a Latina. Put that $100 million marketing on the table. You should have released it. Despite the fact that test audiences, who have no idea about any kind of culture war shit, by the way, watched it and thought it was awful. Probably have no idea about the history of Barbara Gordon. Have no idea about anything other than Christian Bale Batman movies. These people sat down, watched this movie, and thought it was awful. Some people saying it's irredeemable. It's not good. But Twitter, of course, very upset. Should invest that $100 million. It grows on trees, by the way, because these people just see it get printed all the time anyway. So they think it should have came out. They're very upset. They're very upset about some other stuff, too, I'm going to show you. But people are, of course, calling this a racist move. Leslie Grace was incredible in The Heights. Batgirl was supposed to be her chance to become a bona fide movie star. WB is taking that away from us, and I will not stand for it. Hashtag release the Batgirl movie. Look, she still got paid. And she, from what I've seen, is a good actress. She's a beautiful young woman. She'll be fine. Someone else will snatch her up, and she'll be in another movie in no time. Just because this pile of trash, in fact, this pile of trash movie coming out and flopping completely wouldn't make her a bona fide movie star. If anything, it would make her look like a box office bust. I think it's a better career thing for her with this movie not coming out, because now maybe she can find another movie to be her first big box office movie and actually have a big career from it. A busted movie coming out isn't going to propel her to stardom. Here's another one. Regardless of how you feel about the DCEU, the cancellation of Batgirl sucks. Leslie Grace was robbed of her moment. Everyone else involved, including Adele and, I don't even want to brutalize that name, deserved better. It's just more proof that Warner Brothers has no plan. Well, maybe they should have made a better movie. I believe these are the directors. Maybe they should have made a better movie. If anything, they were robbed of an embarrassment that would have led to them never directing anything ever again. So this is actually maybe a good thing for them. If the Batgirl cancellation really was all about David Zaslav asserting his dominance over the DC brand, I'd like to send a message back to say that minority talent are not just pawns for your petty power plays. Here she is again. God, my heart just breaks for Leslie Grace. She saw so much of herself in the role and spent so much time researching Batgirl to play Barbara Gordon perfectly, and now she'll never get a chance to share it with the world. Well, she got paid still. The money still came in. I don't care if Batman or Michael Keaton's in it anyway. In fact, I think he's too old to come back and run around. Oh, here we go. Remember that we made a big deal that the Warner Brothers Discovery merger had no Latino on its new board. And then they canceled Afro-Latina movie. Come on. You know, this is, what do you need to have one of each person on a board now? As a Hispanic man that was excited to see Leslie Grace step into the role of Batgirl and give people representation, I'm upset that this movie got canceled. They're trying to spin this as a racially motivated thing. That's not what happened here. It got canceled because it's a freaking awful movie. It has nothing to do with Leslie Grace. In fact, it's not her fault at all. She's working with what people gave her, okay? She's working with what people gave her. They gave her the script. They told her what to do. It's not her fault at all. If anything, it's the director's fault for making a pile of trash movie. This movie, from all intents and purposes, from what I understand from test screenings, is an awful movie. An awful, awful movie. It's not a racist thing, but it's always painted that way. Every time. Just like this teen vampire show, whatever this show is. It's called First Bite or something. And apparently it's a vampire show. First Kill. Okay, so it's a vampire show, but it's teen lesbian vampires or something. I don't know. Nobody watched it, apparently. One of the days, somebody captures this, June 6th through June 12th. It was number 7 in the top 10. Okay. Cowboy Bebop did better than that, and they canceled that real fast within a week. So just because it had this number, that doesn't mean shit. We have no idea what causes them to cancel series. But nobody watched this show. Nobody really watched it. Nobody was talking about it. And apparently, because of that, they canceled it. I mean, that makes sense. But it's, of course, being called phobic now that this was canceled. And there was a big hashtag. I saw this yesterday. Hashtag cancel Netflix. It's crazy that this causes cancel Netflix to trend, but not cuties. So this show was a failure. Nobody liked it. Netflix canned it. And 10 people on Twitter are upset. Maybe stop making shows for 10 people on Twitter. I think that might be a good strategy for Netflix. Might help them make money. But they just keep doing this shit over and over again. That's why your stock went from $700 a share to like under 200, whatever it's at now. Making shit that nobody watches. I mean, I can say this for the guy at Warner. He seems to recognize that, and he's not going to just release garbage for a message. He's just going to shelve it and try to make as much money as he can. That's what I was hearing from some insiders. He's trying to make as much money as he can. I was reading one rumor saying that he, like most of us can tell, Marvel is on the decline, and he sees this as a chance to prop up his DC universe and BTFO them. So, interesting, if true. I mean, it would make sense. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.